It's been very, when I ever have a creative block or I feel depressed or life is not working out, I go to Paris and to his apartment and get tarot readings. And it kind of opens me up and I relax and get creative again. And so there's a very personal relationship between us. And professionally, I find that Altovo really created modern pop cinema. And in such a way that almost his inspiration has become invisible because it has filtered so many different layers down until today. And because he's almost 90, I wanted to say goodbye, because he's going to die.
Stylistically, of course, this is a very different kind of movie than he would make. It's an acid trip that's kind of underwater, like an underwater ballet. It's much more, it's abstract. Is that how you conceive of the film? It's really not about narrative.
Well, I'm a pornographer, and I make films about what arouses me. And at different times, different things excite me. But I love the idea of doing a mother and son story, but set it in a fairy tale construction, and adding a narrative structure which is all about the act of seeing and feeling, and in a way you have to fill in the blanks. Like art is it's both satisfying, it is a two-way process. It's like it has to penetrate you, and you have to throw it back to a cycle where it becomes a give and take, or else it just becomes a one-way. And I find it more interesting if art inspires thought that then worships back to what you're experiencing, or very similar to the way we go to museums or we hear experimental music.
Well, it's a very musical film. I'm saying that as I was watching it for the second time, I kept thinking about it last year and that the rhythms of it, and the use of even the music for the organ.
Well, what's interesting is that silence is the most loudest sound, because it's the one sound that we automatically force ourselves to become much more observant of what's around us. And speed is actually much more effective the slower it is. And you take those components, it is like almost like meditating or looking at the same object for X amount of time starts to alter its existence.
Amazing performance by Kristen South Thomas. I mean, you haven't actually monsters, and I guess I gather that none of you have met since gotten together since you made the film, and she's off making a movie in Belgium at the moment, and he's directing a movie in Detroit. And you're going to meet again in July.
We all finally got together to meet up in July for the big event there, and I'm kind of afraid of seeing her again.
And why is that?
She has no problem turning on the bitch switch.
Well, did you turn it on or did you turn it on for her?
Well, when I was casting the movie, I never thought that somebody would be of that caliber would want to make something like this. So I was casting unknown actresses out of the UK. And the casting director said, well, why don't we try Kristen Scott Thomas, who happens to be my mother's favorite actress? And I thought, well, that was interesting. And she read the script and wanted to meet in Paris. So I flew to Paris, and she's a very elegant, beautiful British woman. And she, she talked a lot about Lady Macbeth and those very classical approaches to a character like this. And we very much saw eye to eye. But the one thing that really was important for her was the transformation. She says, if I'm going to do this, I really need to change. And I was like, well, what do you have? Like, do. And a few days later, she sent me a picture of herself with a long blonde wig, and she said, "I want to be this." And of course, it was, you know, Donatello Versace, here we come.
Do you like it when people laugh? I mean, the movie is on the verge of camp at times. I mean, that's what I mean. It's such a wonderful mix of every possible kind of solemn, serious, camp, funny. You mix it out, which was, I assume, your intention.
Very much.
Let's get some questions from the audience. I'm sure there's a few. Who wants to break the ice? Yeah, over here. Yeah.
Do you have any advice for aspiring directors?
The question is, do you have any advice for aspiring directors?
Well, I can give you the advice that Eli Kazan gave me when I started making films, and that was do it your way.
I have a question here.
Yeah.
First of all, what an experience. It's kind of, my mind is just reeling. But I'm so curious in terms of the moments of, in terms of stillness and creating an environment of tension, how, in terms of the inner life of the characters, how to go about directing those long sequences of silence and intimidation, just what is your style of working with those moments?
Well, because the film has so little verbal explanation, which is one of the main tools that we're very used to nowadays in cinema or television or any kind of modern storytelling, is the spoken word to guide us or to inform us as we experience some kind of storytelling. The minute you remove that, it's a very interesting landscape that suddenly appears, because you're forced to tell the story with other elements that we sometimes take for granted, like sound and music and images, as just something there to underscore the movement of the story. And especially, one of the things that Ryan and I talked a lot about was the whole sense of moving as if he was asleep, and using the mythology of the sleepwalker, which is an entity that's forced to move as he's awake but still asleep, and is like condemned to the sense of Dante's Inferno. And so it's very much like a choreography of movement and looks that would underscore the story elements of it. And then very much Cliff's music would then come in and help balance the various emotions that would need to go through. And then the few times they did talk, it was always with multiple meanings every time they had to say something.
Did you know what kind of, this music is so integral to the film, did you kind of know what the music was before you even started, or?
The music was a little tricky because it had to be inspired by Thai music. And actually, the best one to answer this is Cliff, and he's here. Cliff, why don't you come up and